Hello, good evening. I'm John Owings, Operations Section Chief, along with my partner John Fredrick, Section Chief, for the Shelly fire with your evening update. So we'll start over here in the Kidder Creek area where we have hand crews and engine companies supported by aircraft constructing direct line construction right along the fire's edge, moving south toward the PCT, the Pacific Crest Trail, as well as north up toward the ridge between Kidder Creek and Mill Creek. And on the back side of that, in the Mill Creek area, we have folks coming around and bringing line from the existing hand line up on the ridge there back in to meet with the crews that are coming up there to try to secure the fire's edge. Working our way around back down this ridge between Mill Creek and Kidder Creek, crews have been engaged in securing that fire's edge, mopping up to the extent necessary to control the fire and keep it from jumping that control line. As you move down off of that, where we're calling Helispot 7, down into Kidder Creek area, crews are doing the same. They're engaged in heavy mop up to secure that fire's edge. Bringing it around further, down Kidder Creek where we had performed some tactical firing operations a few nights ago. That fire came all the way back down to our control lines, and crews are mopping up and have really good success up in there as well. Coming off of Kidder Creek down over toward Patterson Creek, same story. Crews are mopping up and reinforcing those control lines all the way down toward the Patterson Creek area. And when we come down off of the south side of Patterson Creek, where the fire experienced some growth a few nights ago, and we were able to get some direct hand line and dozer line construction in there, crews are doing the same as they're doing all the way up here as well, bringing containment, seeking containment the next couple days, securing that fire's edge, and mopping up interior with hose lines. We were able a couple nights ago to turn the corner off of this ridge off of Whiskey Butte and bring hand crews and bulldozers down interior and conduct direct line construction as well, supported by engine companies and aircraft, where they're making really good progress crossing Patterson Creek and working back toward and eventually back up toward the PCT. This part of the fire right interior here, right up off of Babs Lake area, that's still uncontrolled fire edge where we don't have folks on the ground, but we are hammering it with aircraft there. Coming down off of the backside of the Pacific Crest Trail, fire hasn't really done hardly anything here in the last several days, and we have actually folks coming up out of the Mule Bridge area. They've hiked up, they're being supported by mule trains, and they're coming up into the upper right-hand fork of the North Fork of the Salmon River, and we're engaging in direct fire line construction to come up and meet with these folks that came out of Kidder Creek, and eventually to tie that line into there and to come back around here and secure that fire's edge. So these plans are in progress, and wheels are in motion to get folks in there and to secure that fire's edge. And I'll pass it on over to John Fredrick.
Hey, good evening. Tonight I'm going to talk a little bit about containment and how we represent that on our map, and just break that down a little bit for you. So you can see up in the top portion of our incident, we do have some black along the line, the fire's edge. So that's where we call that fire contained. So the rest of this fire is still uncontrolled fire's edge. So we may have crews on there, we may have dozer line on it, but it may not be fully contained. So if you look at where this black line is, it's on a ridge top up high, and then down in the Kidder Creek area, it's along a road. So we called it contained because we were able to move in and mop up, which is take out the embers, take out the snags, any kind of embers that are in that area. We're trying to cool down and build that depth off our control line. So if you look over here where we had that big blowout the other day, it's in very steep terrain, it's in heavy fuels. So our fire line is along the fire's edge, but it's on a steep hillside. So any kind of pine cones, any kind of logs, any kind of trees that fall, that can jeopardize our line. And all it takes is one little ember to come over our line and then start a new fire. And I know that it doesn't seem like you see a whole lot of smoke on the incident anymore, but the fire's edge is still, in a lot of this area, still uncontrolled. So we want to make sure before we get you guys back in your homes, before we lift any kind of evacuations, that fire's edge is completely secure and we don't feel like there's a threat anymore. We had about 40 to 50 mile an hour winds coming out of the south today. So this northern portion up here today got what we call wind tested. So the wind blows across the fire's edge and it blows out into the green, which is unburned fuel. So if that wind picks up and blows that one ember, that's all it takes. And how dry this fuel is outside right now, it lands in that receptive fuel bed, well then the fire is going to be off again and off to the races. So once again, we have a lot of these indirect fire breaks out here. So that's where we build our line when we can't get up close and right on the fire's edge due to the fire activity. We fall back and we make sure that we build backup lines and make sure that we protect the community. So I appreciate you guys coming online, and have a good evening.